Exkluzív interjút ad a Debrecen Televíziónak az EVE Energy szenior alelnöke. Köszöntöm Önöket, Alexander Holden a vendégem a Közügy Extrában. Vele beszélgetek ma este az EVE Power debreceni beruházásáról. Good evening, thank you for accepting our invitation.
Thank you for asking. It's a pleasure to be here.
In May 2023, EVE Power announced plans to establish a new plant in the Northwest Economic Zone in Debrecen as a supplier to BMW Group plant. Debrecen will produce cylindrical battery cells for the next generation of electric vehicles. What's the current status of the investment?
Yes, the current status is progressing very nicely. We are working closely with all the local governing bodies, the local authorities and departments, and we're progressing nicely. Right now we've completed the pilings, ready for the next stage. But again, we're going through the necessary requirements which are put in place by the authorities here to make sure that everything is done correctly. EVE, we want to adhere strictly to the local requirements. So it's very important for us. But in general, everything's progressing nicely. And we've been very surprised and pleased by the help that we've received so far.
Yeah, you mentioned a topic I wanted to talk a little bit more about. In a recent statement, the company declared that, and I quote, that it carries out every step of the investment strictly with the necessary regulatory permits in compliance with the strictest legal and regulatory requirements. The municipality of Debrecen echoed this in its statement, additionally requesting that the residents of Debrecen and the national public be regularly informed about the steps of the investment. So what's the current status of obtaining the required permits, including the integrated environmental permit, and when is production expected to begin in Debrecen?
Thank you. The documentation and has all been now submitted for the required permits. And again, this has been done very, very closely with the local municipalities and authorities, following their guidelines and their requirements. EVE wants to meet, if not go past the requirements which are asked for us. Everything we do is got to be fully transparent for the local people. EVE, we believe this wholeheartedly. We have to inform the local people each step of the way what we are doing and what we intend to do. We want their support. At the end of the day, we'll be looking to the local people to fulfill opportunities, careers and jobs with us. So it's important that we have them on our side to understand what we're bringing here to the city.
EVE Power is establishing a state-of-art facility in Debrecen. What does this mean and what technologies will you employ?
State-of-the-art means using the best available technology currently available to us. So fully automatic production lines, digitally AI-controlled production. All of these things lead to a cutting-edge product. So using the best technology that is available, along with the best raw materials. So this, again, we look at creating opportunities and careers that will last for generations, not just for a short period of time.
Why was it important to locate the plant in close proximity to BMW Group plant Debrecen as its supplier?
This is something we decided ourselves internally. Supplying BMW, there wasn't a real... Let me put it this way. We weren't forced to come here to Debrecen or to Hungary, but we looked at it as an opportunity. For the first time, we were able to put a manufacturing facility next to the customer. This will reduce on things like transportation. No need for logistics for moving our product from one location to the other using trucks and things. This will enable us to reduce our carbon footprint. It will reduce the amount of traffic for the local people. So again, this is a first of its type. This is again a sign, it's a commitment from EVE to show that we do care about the local environment and the local people. Why make it difficult? Let us make it easy so we can move our product directly from our location directly into the BMW facility. No need for logistics, reduce the carbon footprint, good for the environment.
Let's talk about one of the most interesting topics about that. Previously, it was announced that to optimize water usage, the company plans to meet its firewater needs by technologically diluted water rather than drinking water. What can you tell us about the technology required for this and how is the preparation progressing?
Again, goes back to us using the best technology available. We understand around this area, agriculture is very, very important. So we want to do our part to reduce our demand and need for fresh drinking water. So we will use grey water, we'll use diluted water, we will install our own storage tanks as well so we have other water supply. EVE will always comply with the regulations and rules and requirements of the local municipalities. So best technology available, reduction in overall usage of our water, and again, giving transparency to the local people so they're not concerned that we are wasting water that could be better used on agricultural crops and growing.
And if I'm right, your plan is to hire more than 1,000 employees. In the first quarter, it was reported that the recruitment had begun, targeting areas such as logistics, warehousing, construction and production mechanization. What's the current status of recruitment? What roles are still being recruited for? And more importantly, how effectively can these positions be filled by Hungarian or local Debrecen applicants?
Again, we're looking to use local people as much as we can. Key positions are still available. We're working with local HR companies again to better utilise the local communities, not just in the city but in the outlying villages and smaller towns. As much as we can, we want to implement local people to work within the facility. We will provide full hands-on training, maybe even sending key people to some of our other facilities overseas so they can actually be taught and they can be trained on actual machines and equipment and production lines, which will be similar to what will be installed here. And it's progressing nicely, but it's a step-by-step process. We're not the only people looking for employees at this point. So we look to encourage them to come by offering very competitive salaries, other bonuses and benefits, again, making things better for everyone.
Previously, you stated that the company aims to support Debrecen and the local community, local talent as a good neighbor. In what areas is the company involved in social responsibility in Debrecen?
Well, I think most people here can already see we've been trying to support things such as the local football team, which we are very much in favour of. We believe this is the heart of the town and city. But we also look to support local educational requirements as well, whether this be at kindergarten level or all the way up to the university level. Currently, we are in discussion with the university on joint projects for technology, new research centres. So we look at bringing new opportunities to support the local people and help grow the availability and opportunities for people here.
It's impossible to ignore a topic that there have been reports worldwide about declining demands for electric vehicles. How does this trend impact EVE Power's long-term plans, particularly those related to Debrecen?
You're correct. There has been a downturn in the demand for electric vehicles, not just in Europe but worldwide. But we see this as a temporary thing. It's really allowing the infrastructure to catch up with the demand. If the demand for electric vehicles was going forward at the percentage we thought it was going to do in the beginning, the infrastructure isn't there yet. Charging stations, things like this. So we see this temporary slowdown as just that, a temporary slowdown. I believe the slowdown may continue into next year, 2025. But I also believe 2026, 2027 and onwards, we will see a very steep increase and quick increase in the demand for electric vehicles. Not just full electric vehicles, but also hybrid vehicles as well. So I think overall, Our commitment here in Debrecen and to the local people remains solid. We still see the need for expansion. And remember, we are making products here in Debrecen which will be used in Hungary for local people. We don't intend to ship our products all over the world. We're meeting a demand here for the Hungarian public.
Mr. Holden, thank you for being here.
Thank you very much indeed.
Önöknek pedig köszönöm a figyelmet, ez volt az e heti Közügy Extra. Nézzenek minket az est további részében is, viszontlátásra!